So a new year is here, and you might be looking back on the last one thinking, pretty normal, nothing special. Another 365 days in the books, right? Well, what if I told you it was anything but normal?
What if I told you that you've just completed one of the most incredible high-speed trips imaginable? And the key to understanding this whole thing, well, it's actually hidden in the physics of our everyday world. Okay, to get our heads around this journey, we've got to start with the one thing that keeps our feet planted firmly on the ground. Yep, we're talking about gravity. We all know the story, right? Isaac Newton, an apple falls from a tree, and bingo, a world-changing idea. The big insight was that anything with mass pulls on everything else with mass. It's why you don't float off into the sky. Earth is just the biggest, most massive thing around here, so its pull wins. I just love this way of putting it. Our entire existence, you, me, the oceans, everything, is basically just stuck to this giant cosmic rock. Gravity is the invisible glue. But, and this is the important part, gravity does a lot more than just hold us down. And this is where it gets really, really cool. That same force that pulls an apple to the ground is also the reason for this giant, elegant cosmic dance happening right above our heads.
But hold on, that brings up a huge question, doesn't it? If the sun is this massive gravitational monster constantly pulling us in, why haven't we just crashed into it by now? The answer is actually pretty simple and kind of fun.
Picture this, a kid's riding past you on a bicycle. You grab a rope that's tied to the bike's seat and you give it a steady pull. What happens? The bike doesn't just stop and fall over. Nope. It changes direction and starts circling around you. That constant inward tug, the one that bends a straight path into a curve, is what's known as centripetal force. And that is exactly what's happening in space. The sun's gravity is the rope, and it's always pulling the Earth toward it. But because the Earth is already moving sideways at a tremendous speed, it doesn't fall in, it falls around. That's what an orbit is, a constant state of falling sideways. Okay, so we're all constantly falling around the sun. Let's dig into just how epic that ride really is. And I'm not kidding, the numbers here are gonna blow your mind. In 1 year, our planet travels 1 billion kilometers. That's a 1 with 9 zeros after it. I mean, just try to even imagine that distance. It's practically impossible. Let me try to put that in perspective. If you got into a car and started driving, never stopping, it would take you about 1,000 years to cover that distance. Our planet does it in just 1. So that means we must be moving at an absolutely incredible speed. So what's the speedometer say? How fast are we actually traveling? Because we don't feel a thing, do we? No wind our hair, no g-forces. But the math, well, the math doesn't lie. 107,000 kilometers per hour. Let that sink in. That's how fast you, me, and everyone on this planet is moving through space this very second. Let's compare that. The fastest roller coaster on Earth hits about 240 kilometers an hour. We are going over 400 times faster than that every second of every day. We are, quite literally, on a silent roller coaster. But this raises another puzzle. A car needs gas to keep moving, right? It has to constantly fight against friction. So what's fueling the Earth? What keeps our planet from just slowing down? Here on Earth, friction is just a fact of life. It's the air pushing against a plane. It's what slows everything down. If our planet were moving through anything at all, even a super thin gas, it would have ground to a halt billions of years ago. For a long, long time, this question totally puzzled scientists. They just assumed space had to be filled with something, this invisible substance they called ether. They thought that's what planets must be moving through. Then, in 1887, 2 scientists, Michelson and Morley, built this amazing experiment to go find the ether. And in what has to be the most famous, failed experiment in history, they found nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. The incredible conclusion: space is a vacuum. There is no friction out there to slow us down. So, what does all this mean for us? Why does knowing you're on a silent, frictionless, super fast roller coaster even matter? Well, it can give you a pretty profound new way of looking at your place in the universe. The next time you're feeling perfectly still, maybe you're sitting with a cup of coffee, just watching the world go by, remember this: that stillness is a complete illusion. You are, at that very moment, a passenger on a spaceship hurtling through the cosmos at an absolutely extraordinary speed.
So even if last year felt totally ordinary, I want you to remember the incredible cosmic journey you just completed. You just traveled 1 billion kilometers around a star. So congratulations on finishing your lap. And hey, you better hang on because the next ride has already begun.